Math was not my strength. So that's how I'm growing. Confidence. You won't see the pictures because, well, top secret. Sean Andrew is dynamic. That's a quite interesting question, because to me it's not about the labels per se, because I started off with my passion for photography and then I got into more lifestyle elements. Then I am now blending into real estate, but I happen to be just dynamic in any sense, really. I wouldn't put a label on it, but Sean Andrew is dynamic. Depending on the time, like if it's really early in the morning, I'll definitely need either a coffee with a little shot of whiskey in it, just to give me that little energy edge, you know. I'm not always into that, but I tend to also take walks nowadays, be more mindful, because that tends to open me out and make me a bit more confident. I'm less shy these days because, you know, work. Branded content's quite complex these days because they tell you you have creative freedom in a sense, but then they lock you within certain limitations. Whereas when you're doing personal content, really the colors, things you wear, what you talk about is all flowing from you. It's your personality that you're engaging with your audience. And I feel like there needs to be a balance there now. Yeah. It's made me realize certain limitations. Like realistically, there's been moments where I've been hit by like creative block and maybe some sort of burnout, but it's also made me more confident. In general, I was not very comfortable talking in front of a camera. I was usually behind the camera shooting. That was my favorite place to be. Now I tend to talk more. Especially with real estate content, there's a lot of talking, and I'm not a very talkative person in general, but this is helping me out, so that's how I'm growing. Confidence. Well, I think a lot of people took my awkwardness or shyness as like being rude or aloof, in a way that, you know, like if I'm not feeling your vibe and I'm not comfortable being around, I'm sorry, I can't really help it. I will get out of there. You meet a lot of people from all sorts of walks of life in this job, and it can challenge your humility in one way or another, but I do urge like my peers to be humble in one way or another, not to be so snobbish. That's what I'd say, yeah. Well, for me, my personal style is these days more simple items, really, like solid colors and anything that's just comfortable to wear. I'm not into the trends. For me, it's how it feels and the purpose. Like I love this cold weather thing because I like wearing jackets and I like wearing sweaters and stuff, and I always just look at them sitting in my closet and wonder, come on, when am I going to take you out and have a good time? There's one time, I wouldn't say who per se, but he's a very famous Playboy CEO in Nairobi, and he was having his 50th birthday, and it was quite a sexy themed party, and all of us were trying to figure out what we wear. And I went for this pajama look. I looked like Hugh Hefner, and it was quite a risk, honestly, but I think it came out nice. You won't see the pictures because, well, top secret, but it's out there somewhere. I might post a story one day. Well, the funny narrative about getting into real estate content was I was looking for a place to move out into. And when we're filming these places now, I try and integrate how I would live in them or how I would invest in them. For me, I'm very passionate about mid-century modern furnishings and all that. I am also a very clean lines modern guy, so I tend to like taking interest in that sort of architecture and interiors. Some places are quite dodgy. You find like tiles are not book matched, closets are this very cheap and MDF that falls apart. So you have to look out for those things, and being transparent with my audience is key about real estate content. So I'm hoping that we can deliver on that point. Like I said, I was looking for a place to stay. You know, Nairobi is going through a construction boom right now, and there's so many apartment buildings and so many housing developments. But generally, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be an interior designer, but math was not my strength. And yeah, I was just working through with that, and I just came about this, and I was like, look, things come around, and let's make the most out of this. It's really not been a challenge for me, because generally from the beginning, even back when I was a commercial model as a teenager, authenticity has always just been what you see is what you get with me. And as I evolve as a person, I suppose, so does my content and whatever. But whatever you see me put out is just me. I'm not here for show. I'm not putting on any character, nothing. It's just Sean. Stick to a 3-point plan, really. Be humble, be consistent, be yourself, connect with people as yourself. Don't go showing off things you have, especially in this country, you know how things get with certain organizations. But just be yourself, reach out to your audience as yourself. Authenticity is everything, and also be vulnerable. If you're having mental health issues, any sort of stressors, it's good to create a community around you, and also create a community for other people. That's one way you can help out. There is a 5-year plan, but I can't give out too much. I'm looking at setting up some sort of product that's got some sort of meaning, that gives back to a certain community or something. That's my goal per se. Yeah, more real estate content, more travel content, definitely. We've booked in some locations coming soon. Looking forward to also some brands. Some brands are expressing interest, but I want to get out there more. I want to travel more, yeah. Stay humble, be yourself. Reach out if you ever want to talk about anything that you're going through. I'll try and respond if I can. Yeah, take care.